Yo, what's up? In today's video, I'm going over the best and worst skins on each and every legend in Apex Legends. A quick disclaimer before we start, I researched beforehand for the community's opinion and took that into strong consideration when making this list. However, at the end of the day, the deciding factor was my opinion. So if you disagree with any of the choices, you can let me know what you would have picked in the comments below. So starting off with Horizon, and the best Horizon skin is one that I barely even knew existed before this video, and that is the Ringstorm skin. I remember liking it when it first came out, but I kind of forgot about it since then. The colorway with the teal, black, and gold is great, and I love the mask with the red eyes. It looks like she's in battle armor with the skin, which is something you don't see often with her others. The star centerpiece on the skin really ties it together and makes it the best looking Horizon skin in my eyes. As for the worst Horizon skin, it's not even a question that Neon Stardust takes the cake. This looks like something that the devs made for fun to see how bad they could make a skin and then needed an extra spot in the battle pass, so they slotted it in last second. The Mohawk just solidifies the skin to be on the list as the worst Horizon skin regardless of any others. After Horizon is Bloodhound, and the best Bloodhound skin is Royal Huntmaster. This skin is a recolor of the Centurion skin that was released in the Iron Crown event, which I would say is Bloodhound's second best skin behind Royal Huntmaster, and was the best until it was released. I rarely like recolors of collection event skins better, but I really like the teal that was added to the skin. It fits well and makes the list as Bloodhound's best. To contrast that, there is the legendary Twitch Prime skin Frosthaven. In general, I don't like any of the other Bloodhound skins of this design with the Plague Doctor beak look, and the colors of this one don't mesh well or look great, so it comes in as the worst Bloodhound skin. Next up is Lifeline, and Lifeline's best skin is one of my all-time favorites. Part of the Season 2 Iron Crown event, the Judge Jury Executioner skin features Lifeline in a sick looking golden mask. The gold throughout the skin complements the brown and makes the skin flashy but cold looking. Lifeline usually doesn't get skins that make her look like this, which makes Judge Jury Executioner that much better, not to mention her hair. The worst Lifeline skin, Hellraiser, changes Lifeline's look up a lot too, but not in a good way like the previous skin. The coloration of her actual skin is kind of weird and doesn't blend well with her blue looking pants. If you want to rock a demon looking Lifeline skin, then just use From the Ashes, which actually looks good. For Mirage's best skin, it is the Folk Hero skin, or commonly referred to as the Iron Man skin because it looks like Mirage is in Iron Man's suit in this skin. Mirage has some other pretty cool skins, but the color combination of Folk Hero along with the Iron Man theme makes it the best for me. It's also a rare recolor, which is another bonus. Mirage's worst skin, Boogie Down, has to be one of the ugliest in the game. I mean, I see the intent with the skin, but the execution is just not there. They really did Mirage dirty with the hair and mustache on the skin. He definitely looks weird without his beard. If it was only up to me and I didn't consider the community's opinion on how good a skin looks and only chose my favorites, then this list would be way different. I personally like unique and underappreciated skins that you don't see a lot in game, but when you do, they are sweaty. The Wattson skin is a perfect example of this. My choice for the best Wattson skin is the Purple Crane skin. This is a rare skin that was only obtainable during the Genesis collection event by reaching 3000 collection event points. It's definitely not as flashy as some of her other legendaries, but is super detailed. It has patterns and details all over the skin. Purple is a color not common at all for Wattson skins or just Apex skins in general, but it looks really good and unique on Wattson. I'm super glad I could get a hold of this skin and can rock it in game. Wattson's worst skin, Bionic Wonder, is kind of a controversial one. People either love it or hate it, but as for me, I do not like this skin. I'm not a fan of this kind of design on Wattson in general, where she looks kind of cyborg-like, but I won't dislike the other ones like I do for Bionic Wonder. I think the yellow on the skin looks pretty bad, and I don't like the way it makes her face white either. But if you like this skin and want to rock it in game, that's completely understandable. So next up is Gibraltar, and I think Gibby has some of the best skins in the game. If I made a top 10 list with the best skins in Apex, I think his skins would take up half that list. So it was definitely a tough choice, but Bretta Bear is such an iconic skin, I had to give it the spot as being the best Gibraltar skin. The teddy bear theme to this skin is perfect for it. I also love the red details on the skin. The arm shield, scarf, and hat along with the blue bow on the shoulder look amazing. If you really look closely at the skin, you realize how detailed and cool it really is. Choosing Gibby's worst skin was just as tough as choosing his best because none of his skins are really bad. However, his worst is Shell-Shocked. The reason it's the worst is simply because of the weird color choice. The yellow just doesn't fit in well at all, and the other colors certainly don't go together, so I honestly don't know why they chose to use this color combination for the skin. I do like the shield design on Shell-Shocked, but I wouldn't use it when compared to the rest. When it comes to Crypto, none of his skins really stand out to me, but the best of them has to be the Midnight Cypher skin. It was part of the Halloween event as a recolor of the original Deadly Bite skin. I almost never see the skin, I think because it was only available one time and only in a bundle. The vampire theme on Crypto fits well, and I really like the designs throughout his jacket and pants. It really sells the look and is better than the original red. As for Crypto's worst skin, they definitely dropped the ball with Hack Frost. There's a lot you could pick at with this skin, but the worst for me has to be his shoes. The curled tip elf ear type shoes just do not go well with the skin. The concept of having a Jack Frost skin is cool, and it certainly would have looked good with Crypto, but Respawn fumbled this one. Octane is another legend with bountiful quality skins. Even his battle pass skins usually look better than most other legends exclusives. I think his best skin though is Laughing Fool. This skin features Octane as a jester kind of thing, and it looks great. My favorite features on this skin are the mask and the hat. This used to be the skin that I wanted to get the most in Apex. As for Octane's worst, I think it's gotta go to Real MVP. It kind of has weird goggles with bright green hair that stands out compared to the rest of the skin. There's also a number 9 at the center of this skin, which is probably a reference to something, I'm just not sure what. This is one of those bad skins that I'm actually more likely to use because it's bad, but it still has a lot of character which makes it fun to rock in game. Next up is Wraith, and I have a hot take for my favorite Wraith skin. I own almost all of the popular Wraith skins that a lot of people claim are the best. However, my choice is actually an epic called Wraith. This was an exclusive release during the Winter Christmas event. It looks a little underwhelming as a still image, but when you see it in game, you will not be disappointed. It has a feature that legendary skins do not. It's animated. The snowflakes look like they're falling down, which brings the skin to life. That is not the only reason I like it, but it helps the skin look amazing in game. With Apex Legends being a first-person game, the only part of your skin you actually see is the hands. The hands on the skin are definitely S tier and better than any other race skin I own. I actually get more compliments and people noticing my skin when I use Wraith than any other skin I've used. I also almost never see this skin in game. Imperial Hal used to wear it a long time ago, but other than that I never see it. If you're a Wraith main, I would definitely recommend picking up this skin next Christmas if it comes back. On the other end of the spectrum is the Queen of Hearts Twitch Prime skin. This skin is probably the worst looking skin in the game. The body of the skin isn't terrible, but the face is where the designers really messed up. She has really weird light purple makeup above her eyebrows that I have never seen anyone wear ever before. She also has reddish orange hair in the skin, which does not look good, and the icing on the cake is the heart-shaped lipstick. This is actually one of my most used Wraith skins simply because of how bad it is. That might sound a little backwards, but everyone always comments on the skin in game, not to mention I never see it because it's so bad. Ash has been in the game long enough for a few good skins, the best of them being Existential Threat. The black and gold with purple highlights looks great. To me, it looks like there are eyes on the chest plate of the skin, which I'm not sure is intentional or not, but either way looks sick. The worst Ash skin goes to Endless Labyrinth. I'm not sure why anyone would pay $5 to get this skin as part of the starter pack because it certainly doesn't look great. It looks like someone took the base white Ash skin and then randomly slapped streaks of red, pink, and blue all over the skin and called it a day. Some of the starter pack skins actually look really good, but this is not one of them. Bangalore is one of those legends that is a little lacking in the skins department. However, I think her best, La Katrina, is one of the better skins in the game. The flowers and bright colors on this skin look amazing, especially because Bangalore has very few vibrant looking skins. The smoke canisters also fit into the skin seamlessly, which is cool. Honestly, the more I look at this skin, the better I seem to like it. Bangalore has a lot of mid skins, but her dress to impress skin can just be considered bad. She does not look good at all with blonde hair, and especially in that hairstyle. Her original hair looks good and is iconic, so I can't see a good skin without it. Real quick, if you're enjoying this video, right now please like and subscribe. Thanks. The best Caustic skin is one I actually used to dislike, and that is the Necrosis skin. I didn't like it when it first came out, but as time went on and I saw other people that really liked it, the skin grew on me. It completely changes Caustic's original build and character model, but keeps his classic toxic green color and cold look. I'm not sure if he's a cyborg or like a complete robot with only his brain attached or something, but either way he looks super menacing in the skin. As for his worst, to me it's the Synthesis Chamber skin. I don't think this skin is necessarily bad, I just don't find it as good as the others. It kind of has an off-putting look, and for an event exclusive skin, I think they could have done way better with this one. For Fuse, I had to give his best skin to Poseidon. The vibe and concept of the skin fits perfectly to Fuse, and they executed well with it too. It's obviously based off of Poseidon from Greek mythology and has Fuse with a full beard. I also like the eye patch as well as the cannon on his back. The concept behind the skin is definitely one of the best in the game. With Poseidon being his best, I think Pearly White has to be his worst. To be fair, the skin is only an epic, but it's an event skin which are expected to be better. The main problem I have with the skin is the pants. I'm not quite sure what Respawn was thinking with this one, but it looks like they liked the designs of two skins and couldn't decide, so they took the top of one and the bottom of the other and combined them into one skin. The blue looks out of place and doesn't mesh at all, not to mention the pattern is super random and wouldn't look good either way. Rarely do I find the base craftable skins for a legend to be the best, but Loba breaks this stereotype with her gold standard skin. This skin gives off high class, which suits Loba perfectly. The combination of the gold on her jacket and the gray on her pants does go really well together, so no complaints with this skin. I didn't really find a bad skin for Loba, so I just used what I thought to be her worst along with what other people said, and that is the self-reflection skin. I don't mind the skin, I just don't really like the sequins, which are a very large part of it. It's not something I would ever use in game. Mad Maggie has had very few skins since she's so new, so at the time of researching this video, her best skin is the Blood and Plunder skin. It has Mad Maggie and pirate attire, which fits her theme very well. It's a detailed skin with gold and green patterns all over it. My favorite part of the skin has to be the skull and crossbones belt buckle and the red bandana. Her skin color is also light purple, which I'm curious as to why they chose to do, even though I think it looks really good. I generally do really like the skin, and I can see it being her best for a long time in the future. As for Mad Maggie's worst, I went with the Steam skin. I saw a lot of people that like the skin, and I don't think it's bad, I just think it doesn't fit Maggie very well. It is also a little basic, with little color or design, and I think those things would have saved this skin. Next up on the list is Revenant, and Rev is a legend with a lot of popular skins. At the end of the day, I went with his best to be the Gaze Eternal skin. I found the skin special because it is one of Revenant's only light colored ones. Pretty much all of his other skins are black or at least dark colored. Meanwhile, Gaze Eternal is a really cool white, gold, and blue color scheme. My favorite details on the skin have to be the wings on his shoulders and the faces built in around the skin. It looks really good and stands out, but still gives off Revenant's creepy vibe. On the other side, I had to give Revenant's worst skin to Seeing Red. I don't think the skin is bad, but I do think that the build is a little bit off. The shoulder Pokemon ball type things just look weird and out of place. As well as the yellow thing on top of his head, I'm not really sure what this is or why it's there either. The skin just looks a little rushed and unpolished, which is why I chose it to be Revenant's worst. Newcastle is the newest legend in Apex, so his skins are very limited. But so far, I think that his best skin is Firewall. It is part of this season's Battle Pass and Tier 1, so if you have the Season 13 Battle Pass, you have this skin. I'm usually not the biggest fan of red skins, but I think this one was done really well. The helmet and gold trimming look really good together. I also like the added detail of the hook on his chest. I'm not sure what it represents because I thought a fishhook was Gibraltar's symbol, but either way it looks good on the skin. As for Newcastle's worst, that goes to the green mosaic skin. I feel like this skin is just pretty plain and not very interesting. I do like the helmet on the skin, but the rest of it looks like an uncommon skin, not a legendary. Meanwhile, Valkyrie's best skin is Omatsu Fury. This skin obviously has a samurai/Japanese theme and it looks super good. The soft yellow, blue, and brown have good chemistry together, especially with the wooden looking parts throughout the skin. I don't know if there's another Apex skin that makes use of wooden armor, but it looks good. The last detail I want to point out are the flowers, a nice touch for this skin. On the other hand, there's the worst Valkyrie skin, which is the Twitch Prime Punk Rocket skin. I think the patterns and colors of the skin are pretty bad. The plaid on the pants is definitely not the greatest, as well as the dyed hair. I do like the Apex Predator symbol at the center of the skin, but other than that there's not much to like. Down to the last 3 legends on the list, with the first of them being Pathfinder. Path doesn't exactly have the greatest skins in general, but I went with Green Machine as being his best. This skin is also known as the Watermelon Path skin because of the bright green and red colors. It was popularized by Abralele back in his fabled Pathfinder main days, and the community really took a liking to it. I think it looks really great, and if it comes back into the store anytime soon, I will definitely be picking it up. I would say Pathfinder has a lot of really mid skins, but none that are especially bad. With that being said, his worst is the Swimming Buddy skin. This was another Twitch Prime skin, which seems to be a little bit of a reoccurring theme seeing them at the bottom. I think they put the junior devs on designing the Twitch Prime skins or something, because they're pretty hit or miss. This skin seems to be a lifeguard themed, which is kind of an odd choice for Pathfinder in the first place considering he's a robot. I just don't think the red and blue look good with each other, and the middle part of the skin with the white crosses looks a little tacky. When it comes to Seer, I've got to give his best skin to another epic, the Iridescent skin. I haven't seen this skin at all in game, but it looks great. The glowing green throughout the skin really looks good on Seer, and with the rest of his brown clothing, the skin kind of reminds me of the jungle. The final touch for me is the glowing green eyes, which just looks sick. I had a hard time choosing the worst Seer skins because literally none of them are bad. I chose to go with the Baron for his worst though. I think the execution with the skin could have been a little bit better, but I still don't think it looks bad. I'm not the biggest fan of the design where his hat has that ring around it. I prefer the original hat a lot better. In addition, this skin doesn't have a lot of color, which black and white together can look really good, but not so much on the skin. Rampart has to have her best skin in Rumble Ready. This was one of her less colorful skins, so you might be wondering why I chose it. Color and vibrancy doesn't necessarily make a good skin, and I think they prove that here. This skin has a mostly black and gold color scheme, which looks good. As for my favorite part of this skin, it has to be her hair. Her hair just looks so much cooler in this skin than in any of her others, and the overall skin in general has a nice look to it. Rampart's worst skin is Custom Finish. This skin is a dark purple and neon green, which doesn't look good with each other. She also has blonde hair in the skin, which I'm not a big fan of. I appreciate the attempt, but I think her original darker hair is a lot cooler. So that was it for the best and worst legend skins for each of the 21 legends in Apex Legends. If you disagreed with any of my selections or there's one I missed, let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.